That's the fun of this. That's the reason I'm doing this still. If I was doing this just for the money, I wouldn't be doing this anymore. Hello and welcome to M Cubed. I am Brian, the Motley Mix Merchant. Thank you very much for dropping by. If you're a returnee, great to have you again. If you are a first-timer to this channel, here's the spiel. I am a Canadian eBay reseller. Pick up most of my stuff to resell at auctions nowadays. Used to do the thrifting store stuff, but now it's all pretty much at auctions. And then I turn it over and resell it on eBay, and I'm chronicling it all right here on YouTube to show everybody my successes and my failures and a few other things, and just talk about stuff that's going on in the resale world. So I'm small, really small, but just doing it for fun and a little bit of profit on the side, and having lots of fun doing this, learning a lot too. And it's very interesting when you're doing the research on items, how much you learn about the items and about the history of different things like pottery making and design and all that kind of stuff. So it's been a lot of fun. And this week was not too bad. I haven't seen you in about 10 days since the last video, and sold 8 items, but November, fourth quarter, a lot of people saying it's not happening for them, and it's really not happening for me either. But as I said last video, if you're watching, I'm not too worried about it. And I know it's not going to be a huge fourth quarter for me because it's not the kind of items I sell. I don't sell a lot of gift type items. I sell a lot of collection items, a lot of things that will complete collections, a lot of things that are collectibles, that kind of thing, but not a lot of gifts. Not something you're going to buy for somebody to give as a gift. So we'll just keep plugging along, and it's just going to be another quarter of the year for me. So usually what I do is I talk about what's sold in the past little while since the last video. Then I go over what I picked up, and I did pick up a bunch of stuff in the last little while. So we'll talk about the auction I went to last Saturday, and then there's something else I want to talk about a little bit as well. So let's start with what sold on eBay this past week. As I mentioned, 8 items sold. I think I'm only going to talk about 7 of them because one of them is a tiny little film cell that came out of a video. I sold it for like $6, so basically just enough to cover the shipping. But here's what sold that was worthwhile to talk about in the last little while. First off, a large round Christmas tablecloth. This was in a box of linens that I picked up for $5 at one of my, if not the first auction I went to 5 months ago. Sold it for $20 on a best offer. Free shipping included. I think it cost me $10 Canadian to ship it. I sold it for $20 US, so made probably $10 profit on that one. But I had forgotten about those linens, and then I was cleaning out my linen pile actually to donate it to a local church, because the linens just aren't something that I really want to get into and sell. And then I saw a few things that I kept because they were worth selling, and that was one of them, the Christmas tablecloth with 6 matching napkins, and somebody was very happy to get that as well. Up next, I've had this one for a long time, probably 3 months in the store. A Czech porcelain tea set. Had the teapot, creamer and sugar, and then 5 sets of teacups and saucers. Sold that for $30 plus $13 towards the shipping. And it was a very nice set, white with the geometric lines on it, and so somebody's very happy to have that. I think that was a Canadian sale, if I'm not mistaken, because of the $13 towards the shipping. That's usually $12.99 is what my Canadian shipping costs. So somebody, I think it was out west, picked up that. Something I just put on the site maybe a couple of weeks ago, the Fire King Peach Luster Bowls. I picked these up at an auction back in the beginning of October, and matching set of beautiful shiny peach luster Fire King bowls. Sold them for asking price of $12.99, and I put $12.99 shipping on them because of course what they're made of, ceramic, and the size of them. So it did cover pretty much exactly how much I had paid to ship those off to the United States. So glad to see those go off the shelf. Up next, a tiny little thing that was in the very bottom of a box that I got for $1 back, probably one of the second or third auctions 3 months ago or so. And it took a while for me to figure out what it was, and then when I finally listed it, it was getting a lot of traction. Finally sold. It is this Sig, I'm going to say Sauer, S-A-U-E-R, Sig Sauer, made in Germany, rifle butt plate. Now, Sig Sauer is a very famous rifle maker in Germany, apparently. And this one was sold for $20 with free shipping. I mean, it cost me $5 to ship it first class with a small little padded envelope. But yeah, it took me a while to figure out what they were. I had a feeling they were from guns, whether it was from the handles of a revolver or the back of a rifle. But sure, it was a rifle butt plate. And yeah, good price for that. I mean, that cost me a quarter, 25 cents max, based on all the other items that came out of the box it was in. Up next, very beautiful Royal Albert ceramic flower bouquet. One of those tiny little bouquets. Capote is the famous brand for making these ceramic flowers, but a lot of the major ceramic houses like Royal Dalton, Royal Albert, Staffordshire, they've made a few of them as well. This one was lavender rose was the design. It matches somebody's lavender rose china plates and that kind of thing. And it sold for $20 on a best offer. I wasn't sure what it was going to be worth, but after I looked at the comps for other brands, there was no other Royal Alberts at the time. $20 was pretty much right, and I charged $8 for shipping. It went off to somebody in Quebec here in Canada, so hopefully it matches their lavender rose Royal Albert set nicely. Up next, yet another piece of my Roseville haul. I've sold 4 of the 7 sets of Roseville that I'm going to be able to sell. This one, the pair of candle holders with the handles on them, they sold for full asking price of $45, and I put $8 shipping on them just to cover a little bit of the shipping. I am trying to include shipping for the Roseville bigger items because they're not very heavy. It's just making sure you wrap them right. So yeah, that's a great sale. I mean, I picked up all of the Roseville, not including the big Jardinier. I picked up all of the Roseville for a grand total of about $60, and already I have sold $120 US worth of Roseville, and I still have 3 pieces left in the store that I can sell. So really good return on the Roseville pottery, and I'm glad I made the investment at the time, and it's doing well in the store. Finally, something else that I've talked about before and I've shown on our previous video a long time ago. This one's been in the store, I'm thinking 4 months now, maybe 3 months, but I'm pretty sure it was on its 4th month go around in the 30-day renewals. It is the Notre Dame 3D puzzle, the Cathedral. I picked it up for $12 Canadian, and I knew it was going to be popular because, I mean, Notre Dame Cathedral burned to the ground earlier this year, and it was in the news a lot. I picked it up a little after the fact, and this was a little after the fact. It would have been better if I'd already had it back in the early parts of the year when something happened to it and it was in the news. But I still got $40 US for this puzzle, plus $10 shipping. This was a Canadian buyer. The shipping wasn't much. It was a puzzle. It was very, very light. So despite the size of the box, it was super light to ship. And, you know, I got 40 US. That's about 50 Canadian. I paid 14 or 15 for it Canadian. So even after fees and all that kind of stuff, still made a pretty good profit on the Notre Dame Cathedral 3D puzzle. So that's a look at what sold this past week. Not too bad, not too great. I mean, like I said, I'm not getting any 4th quarter blowout, so I'm not expecting it now. It's already the middle of November, and you know, it is what it is. We'll just keep plugging along and listing and hopefully selling a few things here and there and picking up a little side money on the side. So let me put that down because it's about to fall anyhow. Okay, so what did I pick up this week? Well, I think I mentioned it in the last video. There was a box lot sale, strictly box lot sale at my favorite auction house in Niagara Falls, which I went to this past Saturday. And it was pretty much what I expected. They moved around the room. We were gathering around the tables like we do at the usual box lot sales, but they had a number of stations set up because there were so many boxes to be going through and to be selling. It was good, and things were going from the average range, I would say, from $3 to $5 was the bidding price, and then you would get to pick as many boxes that you wanted off the table at that price per box. So if you bid $3, you could get 3 boxes at $3 each. That's $9 total for that one. So it was pretty good. I spent a total of $60 Canadian, but I got a lot of stuff, and I filled up the dining room table again, much to the chagrin of my girlfriend. Yeah, I haven't even started to really go through it. I've gone through a bit and I've listed quite a bit already. Maybe 10 items have been listed so far. I've probably got 50 listable items at least that I can put on the eBay store just from this box lot sale. And I'm guessing each of those 50 items is going to get me in the $10 to $15 profit range. So if I can turn $60 Canadian into $500 or $600 US profit, I'll be very, very happy, and it'll be worth the effort. So I'm going to go through and show you a few of the things that I found in my early look through of the auction stuff, and let you know exactly how things are going so far with that. But first, let's start off. First of all, I got this. I'm going to show this little guy cute. First thing. This is, of course, a stoneware pottery. Little bunny. He's tiny. Let's put it in perspective. He's tiny. There's my hand around it. Now, I'm going to do a video in the very near future talking about the difference between what everybody knows is Blue Mountain pottery and the fakers. Now, I don't want to say fakers. That's the replicators. Let's put it that way, because there are companies that were formed after Blue Mountain Pottery in Canada, which is the famous one you see worldwide with the green drip glaze and some other colors as well. But people left Blue Mountain Pottery and started up their own companies, but they kept making the same kind of things with the drip glaze and that kind of thing. So it's not Blue Mountain Pottery, but I mean, it's sort of, Blue Mountain Pottery is now almost a genre of its own. Even all the replicators fall into that category. This is Blue Mountain Pottery. I got probably, I think it's about 12 of the miniatures. I also got a couple of larger animal pieces, and I picked up 3 very large pots. And the pots go from $20 to $30 a piece. And I picked them up for part of a $5 box. So maybe $1.50 cost to me on those large Blue Mountain Pottery pots. But some of them are Blue Mountain Pottery. Some of them are a company called Canadian Ceramic Craft, which was started by the first mold maker from Blue Mountain Pottery, who left the company and created his own company. So it's all the same genre, the same kind of stuff. But yeah, got a lot of these cute little things. So if I bundle them together, they seem to be selling better if you bundle them together. I put 4 or 5 of the characters all together and bundle them. I'll get $20 to $25 for the bundle, and they cost me, again, the little guys cost me probably 25 cents each. So I like that. Good haul on the Blue Mountain Pottery and the like. Here's a couple things to show you. This is part of a set. I don't know about a set, a collection. Let's put it this way. This is Mikasa. It's called Younger Than Springtime Bali High Design. Creamer and sugar here, of course. Fairly good size creamer. I mean, that's a pretty good size. Taller, 5 inches or so, with the lidded sugar. Now I've got a creamer, a sugar, 5 large bowls, and 2 small bowls, and then I've got a total of 12 saucers and 6 teacups altogether. Cost me $5. Just the creamer and the sugar are going up on the website today for $25 US. The bowls will probably be a set of, I think I have 4. Maybe I have 4. It's over on the table. I just can't remember. I think I have 4 bowls. Those 4 bowls will go up on the website, and the comps are in the $25 to $30 range. The saucers and the teacups, I'm going to sell all 6 teacups and saucers as a set. That will go probably in the $35 to $40 range. And then the other saucers, there's 6 more left, maybe 7. I'll sell 6, throw the 7th one in as a gift. That'll be another $20 US. So for my $5 investment on this Mikasa set, I'm hoping to bring in over $100 US. And it's a very, very cute and desirable pattern with the purple flowers and the pink flowers. And yeah, that was another good find. And I got a lot of good ceramics and pottery, because not a lot of people that were there were after the same kind of thing I was after, which was great. They wanted their stuff. They wanted the toys. They wanted the whatever, the household goods. I wanted the ceramics and the pottery, and I did very, very well for my $60 purchases. Speaking of, I'll do this, might as well do this one next. It fits right in line. This is a plate. Beautiful plate. This is B&C Company of Limoges, France, with also signed by L. Bernardaud and Company. Very desirable. This is the Doreen pattern. I have 8 salad plates. I have 4 small dessert bowls, and then I have a very, very large 16-inch wide serving platter. These cost me $3. I imagine I'm going to sell the I think I have 6 salad plates in the $40 to $45 range. The small dessert bowls will be in the $25 range, and the big serving platter alone will be in the $35 to $40 area. So again, a $3 investment is going to net me hopefully in the $100 range US. So very, very happy when I saw the name on the back of that Chinaware, and the fact that nobody bid against me when I opened the bidding at $3 was even better. All right, still on the pottery line. This was in a box, probably 4 or 5 items, which I got for $2 at the sale. I thought it was cute too. I mean, there were other things in the box. I think it was something else in the box that I really was trying to go after to make sure I got that box. But I thought it was very cute. And then when I got it home and cleaned it up and looked at the bottom, see if you can see that, it is Hager. And I'm having a hard time seeing the number. I mean, you're not going to be able to see it on the video, I'm sure. I think it says 136 or it's 134 or something. I haven't been able to match the exact pattern number to anything online yet, but it's definitely Hager, and older because it's in the hundreds for the pattern number. So I don't know what I'm going to list this for. I'm still doing my research on this. I'm thinking, as usual, ceramic pots like this size, vases, $20 to $25 range probably, unless I find out it's fairly rare, and then I may bump it up a little bit. But hey, $20 to $25, and again, this cost me maybe $1.25, $1.50 max Canadian. So very, very happy. One last thing to show you from the auction haul for today. I'm going to be doing the auction haul every video probably for the month of November, because I just have so much stuff to go through. I'm not going to bother going to any more auctions until I get all this stuff cleaned up and organized and cleaned and listed. And speaking of organized, did you notice something back here? If you've watched previous videos, look at this. There's no more shelf. I have moved the shelf into the laundry room. I have organized things a little bit. Not quite great. I'm going to wait another video or two before I show you my storage system, because it's still a mess. But I did move this shelf, and then I also picked up a 3-shelf bookshelf for $1 at the box lots. They said box lots, but they got rid of some furniture too. And I mean, before I show you that, it's a 3-foot wide, 3-shelf bookshelf. Beautiful wood with design knobs on the end and nice spooling. And I got that for $1. They were selling some of the furniture that they haven't been able to sell at auction or haven't been able to sell in their storefront. Somebody it was an 8-foot wide desk set with shelves on both sides, big open space in the front right here for your monitor, shelving on top, the front case open, and it's got the pull out for your keyboard and lots of legroom underneath. They got it for $5, and it was beautiful hard cherry wood. I couldn't believe it. I don't have room for it. I have no need for it. But the fact that, and she was like, I'll take it for $5, because nobody bid on it. I couldn't believe this. This is probably a $500 to $800 piece of furniture if you bought it at a store. $5 she got it. So I picked up the bookshelf for $1. Other people got some beautiful coffee tables and that kind of thing for $5 or less. Yeah, so I'm going to be watching out for these box lot sales at the auction house, because it was unbelievable what they're just cleaning out the warehouse. They just wanted to get rid of it. $5 for this big set. I couldn't believe it, and neither could the lady. And it was funny because as soon as the auction ended, she was on the phone with her husband. Bring the truck. And he's like, why? I just happened to be standing beside her. She's like, bring the truck. And I could hear, why? And it was hilarious. But yeah, so anyhow, that's what happened at the box lot sale. Anyhow, last item to talk about for today for this part of the lot. Look at this. This is a beautiful Italian decanter with a map of the old world on it. As you can see the map there, and it is in great shape. I mean, it is leather wrapped on the neck. The stopper is wood, and it's still got the plastic in really, really good shape. I mean, it's vintage. It's not antique. I would say probably 60s, 70s for this. Again, in a box, probably with 5 items, bigger things, there was about 4 or 5 items per box. So if I got a box for $5, this cost me maybe $1. And it is up on the site. I think it's up on the site, or it's going to be up on the site for $25 US plus shipping. So, you know, I am having a lot of luck with my friends at the auction house and with the boxes and that kind of thing. And that's just the start. I mean, I've looked at some of the other stuff, and you know, no big home runs, nothing that's going to make me $1,000 all of a sudden, and it happened to be in a box that nobody noticed, kind of thing. Nothing like that. But if I can turn $5 into $100 with the Mikasa and the Limoges stuff, and putting some vases together, and the Blue Mountain pottery stuff, I'll do that all day, every day, any day, as they say. And you know, that's the fun of this. That's the reason I'm doing this still. If I was doing this just for the money, I wouldn't be doing this anymore. I'd be very discouraged. You know, I'm selling here and there, not selling a lot, trying to clean out my store, trying to clean out my shelves, and dropping prices and doing what I need to do. But my stuff is not the kind of stuff that flies off the shelves. You have to have the right buyer, find it at the right time. And so the fun of this, and the reason I'm still doing this, is because of the finds and the researching and the finding out what things are and where they're from and what they're worth and all that kind of, like this little, when I did the researching on Blue Mountain pottery and the replicators, I found out some really, really interesting stuff about that whole line of ceramic work. So that's something that I know now and that I can look for in the future. Anyhow, something else I want to talk about, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I just had to run into the other room to grab something. I mentioned in the last video that I have a way of packing things, especially the large ceramics, that I wanted to share with everybody. And this is what I use. I watch people do YouTube videos on packing ceramics and glass and that kind of thing, and they wrap it and wrap it and wrap it and bubble wrap and peanuts and, you know, pool noodles and whatever else. Well, I have a system that I've been using, and I was lucky because I had this item in my possession already from my previous one of my previous side gigs, and I thought I'd share it with you. And I mean, I've used these on my bigger ceramic items and my bigger glass items because they do a really, really good job of padding the large, so that I can use them in mini size boxes. I can cut them down and fit them around items just to protect the item, and then put paper around, that kind of thing, and it's still going to be well protected. And it gets me reviews like the one for some Roseville that I sold 3 weeks ago, saying it was the best packing he's ever seen, and thank you very much. And I've had other people in my comments on my feedback, great packing, super job, arrived safe and sound, and that kind of thing. This is for really delicate glass and for ceramics going all the way across the country from east to west. So here's what it is. I had a supply of these. These are acoustic foam padding. They're 12 inches by 12 inches, and they're 1.5 inches to 2 inches deep, as you can see. But I had a supply of these because I used to do voiceover work before I started the YouTube stuff and the eBay selling. And these are amazing for me. Now people will say, that's expensive. Like you're using a lot of blah, blah, blah. No, I can get these in bulk for about 60 cents a piece. When I buy them in bulk, now I have to buy them, they come from Hong Kong. I buy them on eBay. The seller's in Hong Kong. It takes about 2 weeks to get here. But I can get these, when I buy 36 of these, I get them for about 60 cents a piece. You can't tell me you're not using 60 cents worth of bubble wrap and other supplies when you're super wrapping up items and that kind of thing. So I use, maybe the most I've ever used is 2 of these in a box, and that was for one of the big vases that I sold a few months ago. So I cut them up, I put them around items, I put things in. When I sold those horses a few weeks ago, I wrapped the horses in a little bit of bubble wrap, and then I slid them in here, in half of it, cut it in half, put the other half on top. No chance those are going to get broken when it's got all this padding all around it. So I just wanted to show you that because we talked about it last video, and mentioned that I was going to show it to you. This is what I use. I don't know if it would be recommended for everybody or for everything, but because I ship a lot of ceramics and a lot of pottery and glass, it works for me. And you know, if you've ever received an item from me that had some kind of ceramic or glass in it, it probably had that one of those around it in some way, shape, or form. So anyhow, I just wanted to show you my little semi-secret of what I'm using for shipping, and it's been great. I mean, a number of the items of what I do is I cut this up whatever way to make it fit around the item, put it on 4 sides of an item, and then when I put it in the middle of a larger box, I pad it around with paper, right? I go to U-Haul and buy a big box of the wrapping paper, of the paper that they sell. I buy a huge box of that, and it's fairly inexpensive, especially when you figure it out per sheet. So I wrap the item in the foam, and then I put it in a larger box with lots of paper and other possibly foam around it if I have some of that in the house as well. So anyhow, I just wanted to show that to you because I mentioned it last video and I didn't want to forget. And that's how I wrap some of my ceramics and my pottery, and that's how I get, like I said, the great ratings on the feedback when people receive their Roseville $50 vases unscathed. So anyhow, so lots going on in the Motley Mix Merchant household. I am going through the auction lot bit by bit. I'm trying to list 4 items per day. That's my goal. So at 4 items per day, it's going to take me a month to get through over 100 items. So I'm pretty sure I'll run out of items by the end of a month. But if I can get through it and get stuff listed and maybe start selling some of this stuff, I am up to 265 listings on the eBay site right now. So it's getting there, getting up there. I'm hoping to get to about 300 by the end of the year at the latest, if not the end of November. We'll see how it goes in the next 2 weeks. So that's about it. So thanks for dropping by. I hope you have a good time with your thrifting and your season holiday shopping, which has, I'm sure, begun, whether you're selling on eBay or buying on eBay or Amazon or wherever. Good luck with that, and good luck with your sales if you are selling or whatever on eBay and Amazon. And maybe put a little comment below. What's your secret shipping item? What's the one thing that you do that really makes sure that your items get to your buyers safely? Leave your comments in the section below, and we'll see what everybody says, and maybe somebody will pick up a hint from one of your answers. So please do that. And also, please leave a thumbs up for the video if you liked it, because it does give it lots of traction for other people searching for thrifting videos and that kind of thing. And if you want to follow along on the entire journey of the Motley Mix Merchant, please hit the subscribe button, then hit the bell to be notified every time a new episode is uploaded. Thank you very much for dropping by. I gotta go and do some listing. See you next time on a new episode of M Cubed. Cheers.